These are the New Balance 880 V15. The New Balance have updated the stack height, the drop, and the engineered mesh on top, so they feel different overall compared to the V14. So we've got 40.5mm in the rear foot, 34.5 in the forefoot, giving you a 6mm drop as opposed to the 8mm drop that we got in the V14. As a result of having that extra cushioning in the forefoot, it's made it really stiff in the forefoot compared to the V14. So that's really helpful if you've got conditions like hallux rigidus or bunion pain, because it really helps to reduce the extension that you can get through those joints. However, it also changes the geometry of the shoe, so it makes it a little bit less aggressive than what we got in the V14. They still maintain the Fresh Foam X cushioning that we still see in the 1080s, but it's not as squishy as what we get in the 1080s. So it's a little bit firmer, a tiny bit more responsive. It's still got this nice posterior lateral heel bevel. It's got some sidewalls on around the heel, and it's got some sole flare and a broad base support on the forefoot. So we classify it still as a stable neutral. As a result of having that extra firmness, especially in the forefoot, it adds them extra elements of stability. So it's really helpful if you got conditions around the ankle like ankle instability, peroneal tendonitis, or peroneal tibial tendinopathy, as you have that nice stable base underfoot. Then in terms of its use, the nice forefoot rocker facilitates a nice push through. However, because of that weight, which comes in around 300 grams for a size 9 men's US, it's still more of an everyday trainer for easy runs, recovery runs, and those longer runs. It's not as good, we wouldn't recommend its use for up-tempo or fartlek work. Excellent lifestyle shoe, so you can still use it if you needed to walk or for standing all day. Then as we move up the shoe, we've got a standard width in the toe box, true to size and length, so no issues there. It comes in a wide and an extra wide version like we had in the previous models. It's got a redesigned engineered upper mesh that wraps around your foot nicely without being too compact. It has a nice lace lockdown, we had no issues with slippage, and it has a gusseted padded tongue. We've got some nice padding around the top part of the heel cup, then it hollows out nicely to give you a nice flexible heel counter. You'll really appreciate this if you've got Achilles tendonitis or Haglund's deformity, as it reduces the amount of compression on the back of the ankle. So overall, we're not quite sure where New Balance are going with this. It's increased it to become more of a max stack shoe, but with elements of stability, so a bit more similar to what we see in the Vongo V6. Let us know what you think, but we think it is edging closer to that unless New Balance are planning a major upgrade of the Vongo. It's hard to see where there's substantial differences between the two. Otherwise, excellent shoe for day-to-day runs, as a lifestyle shoe, really good fit on top. New Balance are doing a really good job at keeping it as a standard staple, but I'm not quite sure why they're adding that extra elements of stack height. As always, you can pick up the shoes in the description below. Otherwise, thanks very much for tuning in. Like and share and subscribing is always appreciated.